Hello and welcome. I'm going to be looking with you today at archaeology in Northumberland. I'm going to be looking at sources for the local historian with a particular emphasis on material which is available online. The world is gradually reopening and we look forward to welcoming you back into the search room at the Northumberland Archive very soon. But it's still a cautious reopening, and I think it's a good thing to be able to begin research from the comfort of your own home. So, with that in mind, Northumberland has some of the most famous archaeology in the world, including the World Heritage Site of Hadrian's Wall, which makes us particularly famous for Roman archaeology. The written tablets from Vindolanda Roman fort, actually part of the earlier Staingate Roman frontier, are regularly found by archaeologists and provide a unique insight into life on the frontier of the Roman Empire around 2,000 years ago. There have been discoveries from every era of history and prehistory discovered right across the county, but these seldom make the news or even get reported on specialist websites. So how can somebody with an interest in archaeology find out what has been discovered in their area? In this talk I will be focusing on already documented archaeological excavations and how you can find the details and use Northumberland Archives to find additional details where they exist. Apart from the aforementioned Roman sites of Hadrian's Wall and Vindolanda, which you can see here on the right hand side along with an example of one of the tablets, we have archaeological excavations from across the eras. Starting in the prehistoric, there's Wheatwood Manor and Howick House. There is the significant Anglo-Saxon settlement of Yevering at Yevering Bell up near Wooler, and yearly excavations take place as well at Bamborough Castle. It's impossible to talk about archaeology in Northumberland without mentioning Sant. Historically, excavations in the county were undertaken by the Newcastle Society of Antiquaries, known for the purposes of Northumberland Archive as Sant, or Society Antiquaries Newcastle, upon in parentheses Tyne. Sant is the oldest provincial antiquarian society in the country, having been founded in 1813. Their latest newsletter states, "The Society of Antiquaries of Newcastle upon Tyne promotes the preservation, study and enjoyment of historical and archaeological heritage in general, and of the northeast of England in particular. We have nearly 800 members and always welcome new ones. In normal years we have a full programme of public events, lectures, walks and visits and social activities, though this year much of it has had to go online. We are also guardians of world-class collections of antiquaries and archives, and of a library of over 30,000 books and journals. We sponsor and publish research into Northeast history and archaeology of all periods." In the somewhat intimidating world of academia, the first place to go for information on archaeological sites tends to be journals, which makes the Society particularly worthy of mention for their production of Archaeologica Aliana, the Society's journal. It's now published annually, and it covers all aspects of the history of northeast England, ranging from archaeological excavation reports to building surveys to historical and documentary research. It's developed a reputation as the preeminent source of academia on Hadrian's Wall and is the first place to find new research from our region. It's been published continually since 1844, and all issues up to Series 5, Volume 44, that's the 2015 issue, and now available online via the Archaeological Data Service website. That's ADS, or Archaeological Data website, which can be found via any search engine, or links directly from the newcastleantiquaries.org.uk website. Northumberland libraries also hold hard copies, some of which can be found in branches, but may require requesting or inquiry from the library help desk. A reference set also resides at Northumberland Archives at Woodhorn Museum in the local studies collection, to be consulted when the services reopen to the public. In the meantime, I would encourage everyone to browse online using the link which I'll try to provide. The Archaeological Data Service covers many of other publications, so a search for your location or area of interest may find particular Archaeologica Aliana articles or results from other sites, including Keys to the Past. More recent copies of the journal can be obtained by becoming a member of the Society, which will get you physical copies, a login to access digital copies, and a range of other benefits. Another excellent source of information is the Keys to the Past website. That's at www.keystothepast.info. This is a joint venture between Northumberland and Durham County Councils and provides a summary of the history of towns and villages across the region. It can be searched to show the location and any records for archaeological excavations. Just to give you a very quick demonstration, this is what the homepage looks like. If you click over here on the right on local histories, you'll see an A to Z list of places in Northumberland and County Durham. Clicking on any of these, let's have a quick look at Allendale for example, will give you, along with photos where available, a very well researched summary of the history of the place. The next website, which I would consider extremely useful for anybody with an interest, is the National Heritage List for England. This website shows all the nationally protected historic buildings and sites for the entire country. So that's listed buildings, scheduled monuments, protected wrecks, registered parks and gardens, and battlefields. This is what the homepage looks like. It can be found at historicengland.org.uk. You have the option to either search the list or to explore the map. If we have a look at the map, you'll see not much shows up to begin with, but as we zoom in, we get closer and closer. I'm going to show you Woodhorn Museum here just as an example. You'll see that once you get close enough, the map starts to populate with information. We can click on any of the sites here. It shows us each individual listing, and from there we can view the list entry. Gives us all of the available information, along with a description and sometimes images. The most recent addition to our list of sources for archaeological research is the Portable Antiquities scheme, which you can find at finds.org.uk. Many surprise discoveries of archaeological artefacts are made by metal detectorists, walkers and even gardeners. These days, finds should be registered with the Portable Antiquities scheme, or PAS for short, which is a service run by the British Museum and National Museum Wales. When the medieval law of treasure trove was replaced by the Treasure Act in 1996, proposals to record and provenance small finds which were not treasure, but which were nonetheless important, were discussed, as previously much information about these may have been lost, before the items were brought to the attention of local museums or appeared on the collector's market. The scheme split the country into regions and assigned a finds officer to each one. The finds officer is responsible for recording anything reported to them and promoting best practice. Finds were recorded in the catalogue of the principal museums in their region until the creation of a national database. 4,572 objects have been recorded so far for Northumberland, and the finds.org.uk website allows anyone to search the database by period, object type and location, although it does require a little bit of patience and interrogation. For example, using the map view to find records, anywhere you zoom in on the map and find a high density of recording finds, such as the red area here on the screen, you might find it difficult to see all of the available records, in which case you'll need to narrow your search using the options down the right hand side. But any of these that you click on will give you information about the artifact itself, such as this charming little Roman lamp. If you do happen to come across any finds, the name of our local finds liaison officer is Andrew Aggate. His details can be found on the finds.org.uk website, and he's currently attached to the Great North Museum. please get in contact with him and he'll tell you exactly what you need to do to record the find. And last, and by no means least, Northumberland Archive. Once you've found out about a site, please consider consulting Northumberland Archive's catalogues in order to read around the subject. The old antiquarian histories books can provide background information on a place, including research from sources now lost to time. We might hold papers on the people behind the excavations or their families, or even have photographs. The photographic collections, which can be found at sant/pho, are extensive and comprised of photographs in albums, loose photographs, negatives of various types, and glass slides. The subject matter is extremely varied, and although many of the photographs and slides are of Durham, Newcastle, Northumberland and the Roman wall, there are also many continental views from the early years of the 20th century. There's a view of the Black Gate circa 1860 and a view of Durham Railway Viaduct under construction, and many late 19th century views of Newcastle. There's also a view of 19th century excavations in Egypt and slides of the Great Wall of China. And that was a very brief introduction to some of the sources of information on local archaeology in Northumberland. I really hope you found that useful, and I've asked our host tonight to make as many of the links that I've discussed here available to you as possible. Thank you very much.